That's what it does. And then we start our video.
Go.
Good morning.
Cheers. Cheers.
I don't know. I thought we could start recording what we talk about in the morning because you do a lot of reading at night. We both do,
Brain
separately.
downloads.
Yeah, and I'm just curious what you've come up with. And I'm just like, we always reflect on our day together and set up this day. So I thought it would be interesting to record that.
I like it.
All right. So, with that said, I don't know if there's like an intro or, hey, coffee talks. I don't know. This is, we're not gonna put this out.
Maybe we will.
But I don't know what. Well, what came up yesterday? I guess what's some like topics or issues that we interacted with that were interesting yesterday that were new.
I mean, I could tell you for me, one that kept popping through my head is knowledge is power. And I'm always breaking down words, like when we did illness is I willness, so it's I will state, and wellness is a we will state. And so like knowledge is really interesting when I started looking at the word, and I just was looking, it's no ledge. And so what's interesting about knowledge is really about information coming in, but if you don't know the ledge, you really don't have anything. And I think that's twofold in the sense of, as I was thinking about this, is it's knowing your own ledge, like knowing what you know about yourself and where that ledge is, it drops off and you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also about the information coming in. Like it's almost like on that ledge that's there, if it's like a complete drop off, then it's like some people are telling you like they're building scaffolding out to get you further out into like that abyss or unknown. But you don't know them. You don't know where the information's coming from. And so, like, you go and take a step on it, and that thing just goes, like, and you just, like, fall in. Because people are trusting. And I think, like, currently, it's so important because of all the information that's coming out. People are just trusting stuff coming in. And then they repost it, and they get angry, and the emotional triggers. And you're just kind of like, whoa, you got to stop and think. Know that ledge. I think that's super important.
So know your ledge. Know your know your boundaries, or know your...
Not only yours, but also, like, is information. That's why you say you take information with a grain of salt, and like especially in these times, like so much information is coming out, people are just running with it. Oh, I heard this. And
yeah. Well, I think the biggest challenge, for me, I feel overwhelmed, and I'm plugging into all the resources that I trust, but I'm trying to plug into all of them, within our realm of expertise, natural medicine, and then I'm really taking heed of your advice and trying to listen to other more conventional conversations. I mean, your brother's super helpful in giving us a lot of information. So it's just kind of gathering from all around and not letting anything, kickstart this reaction, especially if it's fear-based. I don't know. Anything I'm getting in my email that's, do this or else, I'm just deleting immediately. It could be good information, but I can't right now. There's enough information overall. All right, I like that.
Well, just because right now, and just to address, like, there's always two camps, I think, where there's the people who are at the front lines, like our whole medical community that are actually facing
Thank God for them.
This like pandemic, and they are running out of supplies, and now they're going to start seeing patients without having like PPEs and all this other stuff, and it's super real for them. And then there's this other camp who, their lives have been taken away from them, like their entertainment, their shows, their outings, and so they're just like, governments and everything are ruining our lives right now. And I'm like, but there's people out there dying. Like, if this thing ends up being 1% death rate, we'll keep it low.
Yeah, that's low.
And let's say over the next, what they're guesstimating 12 to 18 months, that 40 to 70% of Americans get infected. And let's put that ballpark, that's at least 150 million Americans that get infected. That 1% means 1.5 million people die. Yeah. That's crazy. And like, there's people out there, in our medical community, in our certain circle, and then online, I'm just watching people, and humor's great. I love that people are using humor to soften everything right now. Yeah, we just
laughed about.
But the people who are joking about like how serious this thing is, or they're upset because their lives, they're not adapting. I don't know. That's their social responsibility. So
yeah, well, and that's honestly, if we can just like I feel like you segued into my next point. But the thing that came up for me yesterday just because of our situation and things that we had planned and they went completely differently yesterday, every day pretty much, but just the power of adaptation and how that is like the most vital, not characteristic, what would that be? Just ability to adapt is like needed for survival and to thrive. So we've been working on that tremendously over the last, well, I don't know, forever, but in particular over the last, year and a half or 2 years. Just because we're home with our kids, we're working from home, we're, attempting to build structure within that, but knowing that things are going to change, especially because our kids are home all the time. They're not in school. They're too young. So, we have them all the time, and they don't go as planned. And yesterday definitely didn't go as planned. So it's just, taking your circumstance, yes, creating routine, having your morning routine and having your structure in place, having your goals and your tasks to be accomplished, but knowing that the timeline that you create or whatnot, can be flexible and don't allow for any interference to throw you off like incredibly and then derail you and you're miserable and feel like a failure and, just live in that camp. So the adjustment thing, I've had so many conversations with friends, with people we work with, that this is really hard just because it is inconvenient. It is uncertain. It is just a lot of different stuff. And I think too, it's funny, most of us are on spring break right now. So it's like, it's not that inconvenient. We're going to do it anyways, have the kids home and have everything. But the foreseeable future is like, we don't know how long this is going to be.
Spring breaks are from 1 week to 2 months.
And it's just, wrapping your head around what the heck are you going to do? So starting to consider just being, having the ability to adjust.
Yeah.
Well, having the ability to adjust.
Well, and then the article that I shared with you, that it said that one of the big things that a lot of people aren't going to pay attention to during this coronavirus pandemic is actually you're going to see an increase in child abuse, or really what it was saying is you're going to see a drop down in the number of cases reported, because the number one reporters of those cases are educators, and so they're the ones who are able to, with outside eyes, then see kids, and if they're being abused at home or mistreated, they're just saying the abuse is gonna ramp up and the reports are gonna drop off because that infrastructure is taken away. And they even some of it is circumstance in the sense of parents who still have to go into work and their kids are home and they don't have caretakers, and so they're gonna leave them at home alone. And one of the things I just kind of took from it was, like, again, another opportunity, and we're home with our kids a lot, so we've kind of set our lives up like that. This was a major change, but I was like, great article, continue to learn how to be calm, because I'm not going to lie to you, I get upset and frustrated with the kids. Our kids are little. They're 3.5 to
multiple times yesterday.
7, 8 months, so like they're on us and they're little, but we got to just keep guiding them, guide them, and just to return to that article was super helpful. At one point, I think the thing that mentioned is screen time, and at this point, if you're using screen time, it's like, it's okay. Like,
a lot of it, it's okay.
Just sometimes everybody needs a break, or for parents, like, and we knew this, timeouts are for parents, like go out to the patio, all that stuff.
Yeah. And there's one of them now, so maybe switch over the sound to the other one so we don't hear him. But that was a true story, but maybe a little bit sad. Let's lift it up a little.
Well, and then, so you had a bunch of outings yesterday, which was like insightful.
Oh, actually, wait, can I piggyback one thing off of that? Being not the downer, but the unfortunate reality of, it's going to be hard for a lot of us parents. I think too, a lot of what's going to come from all this is just, and what I hope is like an increase in resourcefulness too. It's just like figuring out how to do shit. And just like tapping into our abilities of getting creative. And it's hard when we have a convenient lifestyle and things show up at our door with the click of a button, and anything we need and want, we can just go get really super quick. Or our kids have activities. I don't know. Just I feel like we live in a cush society where stuff is a bit easy, and so this is shaking that and requiring us to like really plug in and like be involved and make food at home and
opportunity,
do crafts with our kids. Again, super challenging, and I'm not saying it's something you can learn overnight, but just the resourcefulness thing, I think it's like a baptism by fire. Like, just throw us in and get.
Well, and you did that, like, from the farmers markets, you found those little candle making kits, and it was an activity that we did with the kids yesterday, and I want to say
I don't know how to make candles.
It entertained them for 40 minutes an hour at least, like, just making them, then we're taking photos of, like, hey, we did them, and then, like, lighting the wicks with them, and, like, blowing them out, like, singing happy birthday, because our kids love doing that, so
I made a cake.
Made an activity that was, like, for an hour, and you just... they were calm, and everybody was sane for a little bit. It created some space for you. It created space for me while you were making the candles with them, and then it created space for you when I was out there, like, playing with them, lighting the candles and doing stuff like that. So you just do what you can right now.
Yep. So I just wanted the resourcefulness.
In your outings, you had a really funny... What was the funny thing you read this morning? Somebody went shopping, and the sign said...
it said, they lied. They told us that masks and gloves were sufficient. But when I got there, everyone else had clothes on. I thought that was funny because I went shopping yesterday, and we've been so like hunkered down here, so I thought you thought get out of the house and just be out and kind of like feel the energy of the outside world, because we're hunkered down here, and
also not to feel the energy in here.
Yeah, I know. Get away from it. Change it up.
It's good. You gotta mix it up. You have to, guys. This isn't a good or bad thing.
No, but I was curious what's out there and what people are doing. And I went to the farmer's market, which was actually a really beautiful experience because, I don't know, that's kind of my family. It's almost like my church. It's our, we go there every weekend and we get, good food and support our local vendors and stuff. But it was pretty sparse, and there was like a lot of, instruction on how to do things and how far to stay away from people. Completely understandable. I respect that. I appreciate them being open. They let the first 2 hours be for like immune compromised and elderly, which I thought was wonderful. There's a lot of food there still. And I spoke with a lot of the vendors that I know, and I think I probably had the most genuine, like, authentic conversations that I've had, like, and I can't even remember how long. Like, when I talk with people, we made eye contact and maintained eye contact and spoke so transparently and honestly, and I could feel like the genuine care from the other side, and people were giving away food, and one of the vendors is a 91-year-old gentleman, Italian. He was born and raised here, but he had family over in Italy, and he was out without a mask, like doing his stuff, and he was talking
91.
about 91, how he does this. He this is his contribution to the world, is making food and seeing people light up. And I mean, our kids run up to him. He's the meatball man, and they just adore him. And he's not of best health, and he's 91, but he was out there just knowing that being out there and interacting was like his medicine. And I had the most incredible conversation with him and other vendors, and it was like a really neat, unique experience to come home and sit with it and think, that was cool. That was different. Mm-hmm. So imagine a world that we spoke
that was like that all the time, where people take their masks off and they're real and authentic. And I've had people always tell me, like, I want to go deep and talk to people, and I'll tell you there's 3 things that it involves for me. It's people are being honest, they're being integrous, and they're speaking from the heart. And you don't get that most of the time. Currently, I think a lot more people are doing it. I hope it continues, because it's awesome, and that's what it should be all the time, instead of people giving you the fake lip service, what you want to hear, or what their mind thinks that they need to tell you, because they're filtering everything that's coming through, and they're not talking from their heart, coming out through their mouth. It's super important, and take advantage of this time. I've had a couple of friends and buddies like who we've reached out. I had a cousin that I'm actually talking to a lot more. It's been very nice. The conversations.
My parents and my siblings, or siblings, my sister more. So
it's take advantage of it, and then if you can make that a habit and you start building that muscle, and that's part of, like, I don't know, we have that in our health project about like reaching out and like breaking that barrier down, so that you just start doing it, and then that's who you end up becoming. So
because I respect the social distancing and the isolation even, and I totally get that. And it's like our
So what's ironic though, like if I could just say, so currently what's going on is social distancing in a physical thing, but I think what you're seeing is the social distancing that people have done so much just from like a mental emotional state, and they've done through social media. Like now people are actually reaching out socially.
Yeah.
On more that mental emotional level, and the social distancing is really from a physical.
Well, it's just when something's taken away from you, then you see its value.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a thing, or I don't know. There's a phrase, something. That's a thing.
Don't take
so
the
it's
quote
stripped.
from you.
I know. It's terrible. I got nothing. I'm sorry. It's super early, but yeah, it's been taken away. So we are missing it, and now are realizing its value. But that was cool. I love that, and I hope to continue to do that. And again, yeah, like you're saying, I hope that this is one silver lining, and there's going to be just so many, and so that a lot of people are starting to talk about that, which is awesome, of just what's going to come from all this, a new norm. And we think about this for our kids, like with little kids, and it's like, what's this world going to be?
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of weird to like predict, what their normal is going to be, and how are we going to communicate this to them? Like, life used to be like this. So it's just kind of a fun thing to think about.
But their normal will be whatever we're able to guide them, give them, show them that is their normal, and that'll be normal for them.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do.
About. Yeah. So that, and then, I don't know, this is a long video, so maybe we can be done. But I the only other thing I wanted to say was, I've talked to a lot of people, friends, clients, whatever, and they're so shaken by this. I'm shaken by this. I am feeling the effects of, inconvenience and fear for the future. And I mean, we feel that. I feel that every day. I just try not to let myself live in that, center, come back. But I feel like we have a lot in place that we've done, like, over the last year, 5 years, 10 years, that have allowed for us to be like where we're at now.
Yeah.
And it's not by chance. It's not like, oh, I'm a doctor, so I just know what to do. I don't know. I'm going to own having set up to like face a crisis that was completely unforeseeable, like whatever. So any tips or any things that you think that we've done that are like, I know people are asking me like, oh, what do you do for this or whatever. I think that we have really crafted, or that's not the right word, cultivated the power of adaptation.
Yeah, and so I think one of the biggest things that we do is when something's not working, I mean, the first two people that we look at are ourselves. So if something's not working with our kids in our household or our business, whatever it is, we have to be number 1 and 2 that we're looking at, again, from our own perspectives, and then how we can change that and make a change.
Yeah.
The whole Michael Jackson, Start with the Man in the Mirror.
Oh, that song just pops on.
But that's what what we really do.
It's
again, we're analyzing everything, but
look at yourself.
You have to know, you have to start there. Because
well, and I'll I'm guilty of complaining for sure. And I think we hold each other accountable for like, hey, okay, I hear you. I hear the bitch fest, and come on back here, because what can we do about it? So, yeah, just like the knee-jerk reaction when something isn't working is truly 99% of the time like, what am I doing? And then, I can get into the rabbit hole of beating myself up about it, but I'm at least like owning that. So It's like, what can I do?
And that's not a bad thing either. Like, guys, sometimes I think that's super important. It's a valve that sometimes the pressure builds up and you need to release it. And you need to understand, when is the bitch fest like a release of the pressure? And when is it like a habit behavior that you're doing all the time? That's the thing. Because it's not bad to vent, you guys. Just like our pressure cooker, when it builds up, you have to let it vent at the end to get it out. But
you have to make this stew today. Okay. Put that task down.
Good or bad, just how you're using things.
Yeah, but that mindset shift of, I don't know, something isn't working, routine isn't working. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What's going on? Versus like, why isn't this person coming and helping us? Or why are my kids such a pain in the butt? Or it's just, that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference in how you move forward and how quickly you can resolve a situation or improve it. So that's one thing for sure.
The adaptability. Stop plugging in what everyone's telling you. Like, I think here at our house, like for me, we just talked about like the supplements. Everyone was doing immune supplements. I was like, you boost your immune system and you don't know what the effects are going to be. And
hold on though. From an immune standpoint, you can hear it in me. We've had some stuff blow through in the last couple months. We are supporting our immune system all the time by
daily
getting
habits,
good sleep
behaviors.
as best as we can.
Yes.
Taking cold showers, getting movement in, eating good quality foods and water, not eating a bunch of junk all the time. Sure, we eat sugar and cookies and stuff on occasion, homemade.
Because they're little kids, we got them.
Yeah, we connect with people in our community and stuff. So we're doing all that like on the regular. It's not like, oh gosh, an illness. It's flu season, time to take care of yourself. And I understand that people are in that right now because, unfortunately, and just like brutally, people haven't been, that has not been their priority, is health. Everything else has been. And now it's just like everyone's like, fuck, what do we do?
Which is great because health is your number one
asset.
Yep, that you need to have. And if you don't have it, work on that. Because when you don't have it, you're trying to get it. And then once you have it, you can then create like wealth or whatever it is in your life that you want to do. But I was just saying, like, from a supplement standpoint, immune, I get it, supporting, boosting, whatever, all that stuff is great.
Because we have a ton of immune stuff, but we've been taking that for...
Like, the two things I was focused on is more like I'm taking, like, more mental alertness, like, supplementation and, like, inflammation, downgrading, turmeric, ginger, boswellia, different things like that.
We're cooking with a lot of that. Yeah, that's true. Mental, a lot of us...
Because right now, mental alertness might be more important than some of the other things you're looking for. If you can have a clear head, swivel, adjust, that's the adaptability. You can see where the pattern and behavior is off, and then you can correct it faster.
Yeah, because a lot of what will predict our coming out the other end is these things, our choices.
Yeah.
That's what's a lot. We have conversations with my parents. Like, there's a lot of just you need to make choices, and you're going to have consequences for that, and no one really knows. There's statistical, evidence suggesting but you just don't exactly know for you. So, yeah, just be on top of your game and get good sleep and just take care of the basics right now.
Set yourself up to make the best choices.
Yeah.
And you'll figure out if they're right or wrong when you look back.
Yeah.
And I think the people who really run this household are waking up, so we have to go get them now.
I know. They're loud. And they're in charge.
We love them very much. They are making us better people.
I don't know. I thought this would be fun to just start gathering and being vocal. And this coffee is bomb, and I look forward to it every morning. It's Dr. Simon Rezai. What is it? Fat coffee? I don't even know what you call it. Nutrient dense.
Nutrient dense coffee.
If you want a recipe, send us a message. See you later. Coffee time.
Sign off.